Hi, my name is LaSalle. I'm an IT professional based out of Georgia. I want to thank you for reviewing my portfolio. Today, I'm going to be doing a three-part lab deploying osTicket. And within that lab, I'm going to be using Microsoft Azure. I'm going to be installing osTicket as well as SQL to use as a database for the tickets. I'm going to create some roles, agents, departments, etc. And then I'm just going to create some random fake tickets and just show the process of working through those tickets as well. So let's get started with part one. Okay, so first thing that I'm going to do is start a virtual machine. And with that virtual machine, I already created a resource group called Azure Lab. So I'll just make this lab test and go Windows Pro. Go to networking just to make sure that looks good. Okay, so that looks good. All right, it's going to do review and create. Make sure that's valid, validation passed. All right, so we're going to go ahead and create that first virtual machine. Okay, so now that I got the lab test virtual machine created, what I'm going to do now is go into remote desktop connection. I'm going to go ahead and log in. So now that I was able to log in to the client or the lab test virtual machine, what I'm going to first do is go to the control panel and I'm going to download the Internet Information Services Windows feature. So go to control panel, Windows feature, Internet Information Services, make sure that's selected, open that up, then open up the Worldwide Web Services, open up application development features and click CGI. I'm going to give that a moment to download or install rather. Also, I have some pre-downloaded files that have osTicket, SQL, Heidi, as well as PHP Manager inside of it. So I'm just going to start downloading that while IIS is being installed in the background. So I'm going to download that. Okay, so I'm going to open up this download folder. Just make sure that's extracted. All right, so as stated before, I got Heidi, SQL, osTicket, PHP Manager, as well as rewrite and redistribution for the Microsoft Visual C++. So if I look, see if that's been done installed yet. All right, so that is officially installed. Now I'm gonna type in IIS, make sure it pulls up. Okay, everything's looking good so far. So now what I'm gonna do is start installing the PHP Manager first. Next, I agree, next. Gonna close. Also install rewrite. Then Microsoft Visual C. Okay. And then for the PHP 7.38, what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to extract that to the C drive into its own folder and name that folder PHP. Make sure that's extracted there. All right, so that's been successfully extracted, and I'm gonna go right back to IIS to make sure that that PHP Manager has been connected. So I'm gonna register a new PHP version. Gonna browse and find that PHP folder I just selected, and there we go. Now what I also want to do is install SQL. I'm going to pick typical, install. Now that that's installed, it'll pull up the configuration wizard. I'm going to do next. I'm just going to pick standard, next, next. And then what I'm going to do is put root for the password, execute. All right, so there goes that. So now at this point, last thing, well, not the last thing, but the second to last thing I need to do is extract the osTicket. So I'm going to go to the C drive. I'm going to put inept pub www root, and I'm going to extract it there. All right, now that is fully downloaded. osTicket. What I'm going to do is this upload folder. I'm going to switch that and title it osTicket. And what I'm going to do is test. I'm going to stop. Then I'm going to start. And go to the osTicket browse site and see what pops up. All right, so this is a successful beginning to the installation. Only thing I need to do is install some more extensions. So I'll go to my PHP Manager and enable or disable an extension. And IMAP I'll enable, Intel I'll enable, Apache I'll enable, and then I'll continue. Now at this point, it shows that the config file doesn't have the right title. So I will go into inept pub www root osTicket. I'll go into the include folder, and then I'll look around for that config, ost sample config. So what that needs to be labeled is ost config. All right, so now I should be able to continue. Write access required to continue. All right, so what I'm gonna do is change the permissions to this file so don't we have any issues going forward. So I'm gonna go to security, advanced, and what I'm just gonna do is just completely get rid of everything. I'll select everyone. And I'll just give it full control just to make things easier. I'm going to apply. All right, and that file now is working. So now we're at the setup section. So at this point, what I'll do, I'll Azure Lab, and I'll put my work email, put my name, then put my personal email. A username, I'll just put lab admin. And then for the database section, my SQL database, I'll put that as osTicket. And then the root would be the username as well as the password. I'm going to finalize the installation. All right, so looks like we're good to go. So I'm opening up these two sections. This is for the front end user to where they can put in their own tickets. And this would be the back end for login. And that completes our first section of our 3-part lab. We went ahead and we installed osTicket with the SQL database. Oh, actually, forgetting one thing before I leave. Let's make sure that we install Heidi as well. So we're going to install Heidi. We're going to pull that up and launch that. And we just want to confirm this connection to SQL. So we'll press new. And then that password is root. All right, and we already have osTicket there, all of the files. So we're good to go. Again, I want to thank any and everybody who's reviewing my portfolio currently. Thank you for stopping by. Again, this is part 1 of a 3-part series. Next part of the series, what we're going to do is actually set up the users and the agents in different departments in osTicket. Thank you for coming by. You have a good one.